Welcome to our Last Sun and the Cove at Eagle Mountain Market Update. I'm Ron Wilstein, a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide here in Park City. Thank you for joining me for this webinar, and let's jump right into it. I want to begin by giving you a bit of an overview of what's been happening in the Park City real estate market before we turn our attention to Last Sun and the Cove. Over the past 12 months, there's been 1,454 sales in Park City. Now this consists of homes, condominiums, and vacant land, and that's all real estate brokerages combined. That's actually up 9% or 120 sales from the 12-month period the year before. Breaking it down by our three major categories, homes, condos, and lots, we're looking at, in the red bars, the period of time from September 2014 through August 2015 in terms of number of sales, and then the gold bar to the left is the 12-month period before that. So home sales are actually up by about 7%, climbing from 505 sales up to 539 sales. Condos is up by 20%, rising from 605 transactions to 723, so a good strong condo market. And then lot sales are actually down by 14%, dropping from 224 sales the year before to 192 sales during the past 12 months. Now, one of the main reasons for that decline is simply lack of inventory. There aren't that many lots on the market right now, and if you don't have them on the market, you're not going to sell many. So that accounts for a significant part of the reduction in number of sales. It doesn't reflect a lack of interest on the part of buyers. But what's happening with prices? Everybody wants to know where we are in terms of real estate values. Looking first at homes, the graphs before you right now are home medium sold prices. Again, red bar is September 2014 through August 2015, that 12-month period, and the other bar is the 12 months the year before. I've broken this into Park City and the Snyderville Basin, so you can look at the data based upon what's in town as well as out of town in the county area. You can see that the medium sold price Park City is slightly down, statistically 1%, but very mild reduction. Previous year, $1,347,450 was the medium sold price. This last 12-month period, $1,336,250. So slightly below $10,000 difference. Of course, if you had a property in a slightly different location or views, you know, a number of different things could account for a $10,000 difference, especially in $1 million properties or $1.3 million properties. In the Snyderville Basin, this is significant, where we see an increase appreciation of about 20%, rising from $720,000 being the medium sold price all the way up to $866,250. So that's very positive. Shifting our attention to condos, inside the Park City limits, it rose by 5%. Median price climbing from 521 sales to $549,000. And in the Snyderville Basin, a 13% increase, $339,500 was the median sold price. Now it's up to $385,000. So we saw, particularly with regard to condominiums in the Snyderville Basin, the number of condos rose significantly and the prices rose. Double digits in both cases, so a good strong market. Now we're looking at lots. These are vacant land. In the Park City limits, is basically level. Median price climbed $1,000 from $599,000 to $600,000. That's a 0.17% increase, basically unchanged. And the Snyderville Basin rose by about 1%. Again, a pretty small increase, but it climbed from $325,000 the year before to $327,250 this past year. So land values going up, but pretty stable there, not significant increases. The reason I included this graph here is this reflects cash sales in Park City. Park City has always had a lot of cash buyers, and that hasn't changed at all. But what I want you to see is this graph goes back to 2007 and looks at what percentage of transactions were all cash transactions, and of course the difference would be finance transactions. And we pointed out recently in our webinar that for the first quarter of 2015, the number of transactions that were all cash was at the highest level ever, 56%. So that's it's really significant. A lot of cash people have. Second quarter, we actually saw a drop. It dropped to 43%, which you can see from this graph is below some of our other numbers in the 40% range. And the reason for this drop primarily deals with the fact that interest rates are so low and some new loan packages opened up. It's not that people need the loans. I think there's still equal amount of that cash available, but it's very attractive, the financing terms. So there you have it. Cash is still king in Park City. Now let's turn our attention to Last Sun at the Cove and the Cove at Eagle Mountain. I decided to make this a combined webinar. I could have done Last Sun on one and then Cove at Eagle Mountain on another, but the properties are close enough in proximity that I decided to combine it, but I will break it out, the data for each property as well as a combined one. Condominium sales in Last Sun and the Cove at Eagle Mountain combined are up 21% over last year's number of sales. So the properties have been very popular. They rose from 14 sales to most recently in the last year 17 sales. Statistically, it's a 21% increase. In terms of number of sales, 3 more sales. It shows a good healthy market here for those properties. We'd like to talk about absorption rate, because what absorption rate tells us is based upon past number of sales. If you put a property on the market and it was properly priced based upon recent sales, how long should it take for it to sell? And so the Cove units at Eagle Mountain are selling at a pace of about 1 sale every 30 days. That's very, very strong. And currently there are 2 condominiums on the market at the Cove in Eagle Mountain, so it equates to a 2-month inventory. Now, I'll mention that because according to the National Association of Realtors, a balanced market, that which is a equal number of buyers and sellers nationwide, is about a 6-month inventory. And in resort towns like Park City, typically a balanced market is a 9-month. So when we see a 2-month inventory, that definitely favors the sellers and the property owners and shows an indication of our current marketplace. It rose from 7 transactions all the way up to 12 in the Cove. That's a 71% increase, so very strong marketplace. A lot of interest in those properties. Selling prices for the Cove range from $600,000 all the way up to $1,200,000, so that's quite a big spread. The medium sold price was actually $895,000. It is actually down from the previous year's values, but keep in mind that depending upon what combination of floor plans and size of units impacts its value. So while it statistically is down, I don't want you to think that property values are dropping. I think it has more to do with the combination of properties that sold during the last 12 months compared to the year before. But here are the figures. With the year before, it was $989,000. In this past 12-month period, $895,000. There's your 10% drop. Now let's turn our attention to Last Sun. Condominiums there are selling at a pace of 1 sale every 73 days. So it's taking a little bit longer for those units to sell. There are currently no condominiums on the market at Last Sun at the Cove. And that, of course, means that if somebody chose to put their property on the market now, again, priced it properly within reason, realizing that we are in an upward trending market, that they should sell it relatively quickly because they have no competition. Interesting. Last Sun, number of sales dropped by 2, which is a 29% drop off of 7 sales the year before. This past year, 5 sales. Price range of the Last Sun units, low of $1,750,000, high was $2,040,000, bringing the medium sold price to $1,800,000, and that's actually up by 6% over the previous year's value. So again, that's why I would like to break it out a couple different ways so that you can see really what the value of the marketplace is. Last Sun is strong, going up, has no inventory. There it is, climbed from a median price of $1,695,000 to the current $1,800,000, up 6%. Now, if you're interested in getting a printout of the properties at Last Sun or the Cove at Eagle Mountain, very easy. Just send me an email, ron@thewilsteinteam.com, or you can send it to my colleague Doug at thewilsteinteam.com, and we'd be happy to give you the details. We can email it to you, then you can look at precisely the properties that have sold, perhaps compare it with your own, and if there are properties on the market or pending, you'll also get that information. I want to take a moment here to show you how you can get information on Last Sun or the Cove at Eagle Mountain whenever you wish. Typically, we do these webinars about every 6 months to give you an update, but we don't want you to have to wait for 6 months to get an update, and you can, of course, call us at any time. But if you go to our main website, which is BuyParkCityRealEstate.com, if you're interested in Last Sun, just add a / and then type in Last Sun. If you're interested in the Cove at Eagle Mountain, / Cove at Eagle, and the mountain is abbreviated MTN, and that will take you to a page where you'll get information on the property and can request details. Let me just show you what it looks like. It's very, very simple. Here is BuyParkCityRealEstate.com. This is our home page for our main website. We have 3 that we use to market properties from, in addition to others. But if you went to your browser window and you simply added / Last Sun as an example, or it could be Cove at Eagle Mountain, whichever you want. Once you push that, it would take you to this page. In this case, we're looking at the Last Sun page, and it gives you a couple details about Last Sun, and then you have a couple buttons here. The green button gives you the chance to watch a webinar for an update on Last Sun at the Cove. In effect, that's what you're doing right now. So when you click on that, you see whatever is the most recent webinar that's posted on our website. Or the maroon button, send me current sales data for Last Sun at the Cove. So you don't have to wait for the webinar. You can simply hover over that. It turns purple. Click on it, and it will take you to this form. Very simple. It's entitled Current Sales Data Request, and you identify the property that you're interested in getting data on. You can mark whether it's a home, condo, or vacant land. We've got pull-down menus here. Number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and then a little bit lower down, simply include your first name, your last name, and your email address. If you want to receive our quarterly newsletter, include your physical mailing address if we don't already have it, and we'll send that to you. No cost, no obligation. And then in the comments box, you can simply write any questions or comments that are on your mind, and then you go to the green button and you simply click it, Submit Form. That information will come to myself and to Doug, and we will get you that information. So there's no cost, there's no obligation. You can get that as often as you want, and we're happy to provide that to you. Simple as can be. Now, before we wrap up this webinar, I just want to give you a quick update as to the progress that Vail Resorts is making at the Park City Mountain Resort / Canyons Resort, combined now under the name of Park City Resort. Vail, as you may know, is investing $50 million in improvements. They've been very busy to get ready for this upcoming ski season. And the Quicksilver gondola is going up. And of course, that gondola is that which bridges or combines the Park City Mountain Resort with canyons. They got the towers up, they're dropping the top of the lift on there, and they're making huge progress and some new views that we're not accustomed to seeing. So Quicksilver is going up. Then there's a new restaurant going in at the base of the Quicksilver gondola, which is also where the Silverload Express lift begins, if you're going to get on that lift. So they're a brand new restaurant. It's of course framed in here, and it will be open for business for this upcoming 2015-2016 ski season. Then another big improvement that they made is at the base of the Motherlode lift, which previously was a 4-passenger ski lift. They made that a 6-pack, so it now holds 6 skiers / riders for each chair, and so that will speed things up along there. Sometimes you get a little bit of a bottleneck but that's a nice improvement. There's other improvements made at the resort, but those are the ones that we seem to get the most questions about. So things are progressing quite nicely, and it won't be long before the resort opens. In fact, it is scheduled to open November 21st, which is a little less than 2 months from now. So that's pretty soon. I'm excited. For those of you who may not know, Vail Resorts offers a pass. They call it the Epic Pass. And I just want to mention 2 passes that you may be interested in, Epic Pass or the Epic Local Pass. The Epic Local Pass, you have to be a resident in Utah. There are some limitations on it, but it saves you a couple $100 for the season pass. That pass will get you onto the 7,300 acres of skiable terrain. So one pass will get you a lot of mountain to ride on, basically the 2 resorts combined. Beauty of this pass is you can also go over to Colorado and ski Vail. You can go to Beaver Creek. You can ski in California. Any properties that Vail Resorts operates, even outside the U.S., the Epic Pass will work for. So it's a nice pass to get, not too expensive, and you might check that out online. Now, I don't want to slant things away from Deer Valley. Deer Valley is very important. Still mountain biking on the resort, and typically Deer Valley opens usually the first weekend in December. That's all snow conditions allowing. You know Deer Valley. They don't want to open unless they have prime conditions. The whole mountain doesn't have to be open, but they want to make sure that that which is open is well groomed and easy to access. And of course, the food services are great there. So figure about the beginning of December that Deer Valley will open unless we don't get early snow. Now this question we've been getting a lot, especially in light of the $50 million that Vail's putting into the Park City Resort, and that is, what impact will Vail's improvements have on the Park City real estate market? I'm not going to take the time on this webinar to cover this, but in our upcoming monthly webinar that we call the Park City Market Talk, typically it gets posted on our website on the 15th of each month. On the October 15th edition, we're going to deal with this question. And so it's an important question, and you might want to check that out and put it on your calendar to visit our website. Finally, if you own a glass sun unit or a Cove at Eagle Mountain and you're curious what it may be worth today, I just want to show you how you can get that information. It's easy. Simply go to BuyParkCity.com, scroll down on that home page to the Learn What Your Property is Worth section, complete the form. It'll take you less than a minute, or you can just shoot an email to me or to Doug. Again, let me just show you the website real quickly. Here we are on BuyParkCityRealEstate.com. This is the home page, and you scroll down below the Start Your Park City search. If you were searching for real estate, that's where you would start it. Go past these listings and webinar options, and then you come to the Learn What Your Property is Worth in Today's Market. Identify your property, either by address or the name of it, last sun, unit, such and such. You can now indicate the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. You have pull-down menus to choose from, and the size of your unit. Then go a little bit lower. Again, simply put in your name, first name, last name, email address, and your mailing address if you want us to have that to get our newsletter. And then come to the first item and check it. This reads, contact me now for a free property value assessment, and we will contact you, arrange to see your property and get that to you. There's no cost, there's no obligation. It's just a quick, easy way to request an update as to the value of your property. So that's it. Then of course you hit the submit form and we'll receive that. Really easy. If you have any questions at all about the Park City real estate market, about Last Sun, about the Cove at Eagle Mountain, send me an email at ron@thewilsteinteam.com. If you want to call back, include your phone number, preferred time, and I will give you a ring. Again, a reminder about our monthly webinar, and this upcoming one will deal with that Vail question, impact of Vail's improvements on the real estate market. So thank you for taking the time to watch this webinar. I hope you found it to be helpful, and we are here to assist you in any way possible. Thank you. Bye-bye.